What's up guys, it's Chef Talks here with another video on gay dating. This one is specifically going to be about gay dating in Los Angeles. I haven't been here for that long, I just moved here, but I feel like I've had enough experiences now with this where I feel like I can tackle this topic. If you're interested, I recently uploaded another video on specifically the gay bars of LA and my analysis of the bars here, so you can check that out on my channel, but this one is specifically going to be about gay dating in general and just being a gay person in LA and my interpretation of how that seems to be here. So first off, I should say that it was really refreshing coming to here where there's such a big gay presence after all the smaller cities that I've been traveling to for the past year. For those of you who've been keeping up with my videos, it was a really nice feeling to come back to a place that reminded me of New York City and that there's just so many gay guys on the apps, at the bars, just walking down the street. There's a huge presence here. Before I came here, a lot of my close friends told me I was going to hate the people here and that everybody was going to be superficial and fake, so I kind of went in with that apprehension, I guess, but I thought, I'm gonna try this, we'll see what happens. So early on, I started checking out the apps, and as I said, there was just a huge presence. This is one of those cities where you're never really gonna run out of options to swipe through and so on. I would say that my experience with the apps has reminded me of New York City in that there's a ton of fish in the sea, but maybe because there's so many, it's like a total constant distraction, and it's rare that you actually end up connecting with somebody. Kind of felt like Groundhog's Day. Like, I've seen this before, I've experienced this before, where guys just don't really make much of an effort on the apps. The only thing that I've noticed was really different about the apps here is just how many superficial, sort of image-based profiles there are, specifically on Tinder. And I guess to be more specific, what I mean by that is shirtless photos. It's shocking to me how many profiles are just guys who are shirtless, and like every other picture of theirs, some guys, every picture that I would look at, they were shirtless, and it's so odd to me because it's like, this isn't an abs, like washboard abs contest. This isn't, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a modeling competition. It's so odd to me that people present themselves that way and think somebody's gonna see that and think, oh, he's boyfriend material because he has a six-pack in every picture. Like, it's just so odd to me. But that's the only thing I've noticed that's very different here compared to every other city I've been to, especially New York. Of course, every city you see guys with shirtless photos, but there's a lot here, like a lot. So that was the apps. I thought, okay, nothing too different, nothing that unusual. What about the bars, right? I had this observation not long ago, which is that every time I've come to LA to visit, and my first few weeks living here as well, I've never interacted with guys at bars, which is unusual for me. Having lived in Miami, having lived in New York City, not every single time, but oftentimes you would just bump into somebody and you're like, oh, hi, and you start chatting, or, you know, you make eye contact with someone. I had this observation that here, that had never happened, like the first, I'd say 5 times that I had gone to the gay bars. So after realizing this, I was kind of down on myself, like, oh god, like what did I get myself into? The apps are the same kind of situation I'm used to, where guys are fliggy, they don't really respond, and then now at the bars, guys here don't even talk to you. And I thought maybe it's because the bars here are more spread out. Everything in Los Angeles in general is just more spread out. So I thought maybe because the bars are more spacious, you don't really run into people literally, like physically, the way that you do at a small dive bar in New York City, or even in Miami, the big bar that always gets crowded, Twist. That happens a lot. So I thought, is that why? Or is it like guys are more self-conscious here, more insecure because there's such an emphasis on image, and it's LA, so a lot of wannabe actors, and I'm really glad I waited to make this video until one of these past weekends that I went out. I went out twice the same weekend, and something about my luck just changed. I met all these guys, both platonically and, you know, guys that there was kind of like a spark with or whatever. And I thought, okay, my observation was completely incorrect. In this city, you can actually meet guys at bars, and it's not the standoffish energy that I thought existed. And of course, sometimes it's just about timing and also how you present yourself. Like, maybe I just happen to look more friendly these past few times that I went, but I have to say, all the things that people told me about expecting to meet superficial, fake people, standoffish people, whatever, I actually feel like it's been the opposite, especially compared to New York City, where I lived for almost a decade. I have found that here people are so much more open and friendly and ready to make plans, even if it's, whether it's a friendship potential thing or a romantic thing. A very common experience that I had in New York, whether it was towards the end of my time there or when I was freshly new there as a young guy in his early 20s after graduating college, I would meet people who were friendly in the moment, and you know, when people are intoxicated, they tend to be more open and social. And we'd exchange numbers, and then I would never hear from them again, or I'd never see them again. And I expected that exact same thing to happen here. Like, I was having a fun time at the bars, but I thought, I know this script. I've seen this before. Probably never gonna see these people again. And I was wrong. People stayed in touch with me. People reached out the next day. How are you? Do you want to go hiking? That's a big thing here. Hiking and just outdoors culture. I don't know if it's something about the environment is just people are friendlier, or if it's because the weather is so nice that people are always out and want to have a healthier work-life balance compared to a place like New York City, where winter's really harsh, and when it rains it pours and people just want to stay in and maybe work longer or just stay home. So I'm not sure where that comes from, but in general, people here just seem way more likely to actually follow through with getting to know you. So I'm excited to see what the future brings in Los Angeles. I'm glad that the negative sort of expectations I had were beaten and didn't come true. Of course, I think like any big city, dating is not the easiest here. It's nothing like Rio de Janeiro, if you saw my video on that, where every guy I matched with, every guy I met was following up, really polite. It's still a big American city where you've got jerks and superficial people and whatever. But overall, I have to say that so far I'm enjoying it more as a gay person than I enjoyed my time in New York City. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. See you later.
When you wake up in the morning, do you hear me? I am calling. The voice that is inside is the one that